attention.
Yo, this is Supermax Hernandez, and you're watching Countdown City WrestleCast. Boom, I got it.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and I'm joined on camera this week by Mike.
I'm Mike, and like Cesaro, I'm the one who rings the doorbell. Ding dong, hello. Boom, change it on you this week. How you like that?
And joining us, but in the YouTube chat, I'll let him kind of type in his own introduction as he sees this. We got Tommy because Discord just does not like him, apparently. I don't know why.
Not saying it's racist by any means.
Not at all, not at all. There's some technical issues there. It had been working fine for so long. We have no idea why. But
yeah.
Anyway, we're here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. The Countdown City WrestleCast. On Twitter, at the bottom of the screen, at CCG_WrestleCast. And thank you, everyone, for joining us, whether you're live following us along YouTube or on the Countdown City Geekcast Facebook page. We got it going both places this time. Tommy already said him and Discord are going to fight. That's hilarious. So we got plenty to talk about today.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to be recapping Impact Against All Odds and NXT TakeOver in your house. And after we share our thoughts on the events, see how we did with our picks, and give our own WrestleCast ratings, we're going to be previewing WWE Hell in a Cell, which as it stands right now only has 5 matches on the card. We'll see what they add on SmackDown or throughout the week. But kind of a fully loaded show.
We're just on the pre-show at the last minute.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a quick little message there in the chat. As you follow along, please feel free. Share your thoughts on the topics. Let us know what you thought of the shows, if you saw them. If you were making your own types of picks, let us know. See how well you did.
Don't lie and say you're better than us. We know you weren't. So
exactly. So, and Tommy will be kind of making his picks and seeing how he said, "Oh, I plan to." I guess he's got a lot to say. So, we'll get right into it. Let's start with Impact Against All Odds. This was, honestly, overall, I think it was an okay show. It wasn't anything too spectacular. Really, this one kind of served as the, the transition into Slammiversary. That's really how they promoted it and everything like that. So, now, Mike, you only got to see... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did get to see the whole thing. I did go back and watch the main event. And then I kind of looked back and, I looked at the results and saw a lot of stuff online about what went down. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it wasn't a full pay-per-view. It was one of their Impact Plus shows. So it was a pretty solid show. Nothing over the top. The main event was a pretty solid match happening at Daly's place, which was real interesting.
Yeah, that was a change they made, I want to say shortly after the Thursday Impact or on the Thursday Impact episode. And had I known that, I think I probably would have picked Kenny Omega to win, being on his home turf and everything like that. But we all figured this was going to be, Moose getting a shot at it. But,
yeah,
one surprise out of that, though, was, there's
Speaking
my
of
daughter.
surprises, it's a run-in.
Go to bed.
She's going to hit him with a steel chair.
Okay, well, go to bed.
Good
Anyway,
God, he's broken in half.
Asleep, but hey, you never know what happens on a live show.
Go to bed, you.
Mike says
I
go
see
to bed.
you.
Mike says
Go to sleep.
Good night.
Go to sleep.
Good. Anyway, so Sami Callihan started off the show in Nashville, and then by the end of the night, he had made his way to Jacksonville. Obviously, that tells me that they probably filmed the Jacksonville thing earlier.
Yeah, it seemed they were making it sound like whatever they did the last set of Daly's Place tapings, like whether it was that
the Dynamite
Thursday
or something.
or whatever it was. That they probably did this match at the end. So yeah, there was some tape and stuff going on there. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Tommy, Audie, go to sleep, Audie. She's still kind of sneaking around there. Tommy says, I say Sammy beats Omega. I think I'm constantly wrong with Impact lately. It's interesting how this storyline goes with Don Callis firing Sammy even though he has the title shot and everything like that. Go to sleep.
Right.
I'm serious. Go to sleep. That's enough. No, I can't go to sleep. Okay, go to bed. Go to bed. Anyway, we'll see how long she hangs around here.
Yeah,
She
but I
needs to
mean,
go
you
to bed.
noticed if you paid attention, he fired him, but then what's the other guy? The Team Canada.
Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore was basically following them down the ramp, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I assume the storyline is, whether it's real or not, is that there's still the two guys in charge. So and that'd be interesting to see what. Wait, was it tonight? No, Impact's on Thursday.
On Thursday now, yeah. Tonight was NXT.
Right.
Tommy, I think Sammy's going to show up on AEW at some point. Quite possibly. I wonder if he's going to get involved. We know that Kenny Omega is defending his title tomorrow against Jungle Boy. So, that is tomorrow, right?
I feel like it was a couple weeks out, but it might be. I'll have to double
It's either
check
tomorrow or next week, but I'm pretty sure Sammy might show up there. Tommy makes a point to say that as well. Excuse me. Now the X Division #1 contender 5-way ended up being a no contest.
Right.
It was pretty interesting with Madman Fulton showing up, beating up everybody.
Yeah.
And then letting the pin for Ace Austin, the ref saying, "No, screw that. I'm not counting it to no contest." So
right.
We don't know who's wrestling Josh Alexander. We'll see what they do to address that on Thursday.
Do they make like? NXT just did the I want all the opponents. Does it turn into like a 6-man scramble for Josh Alexander versus just all of them in a scramble match or a gauntlet match?
I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that, right? So who knows? We'll see. There's my daughters running around. Don't be messing with anything back there. You need to get to bed. You're going to be in trouble if you don't get to bed. Deanna, as we all predicted, won. Violent by Design.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything. I mean, the only thing we really differed on was the X Division 5-way.
Yeah.
And that was a no contest, so we kind of threw that result out. But
and then I know Tommy would have more to say on this, but the Satoshi Kojima versus Joe Doring. Did you pick Doring, or were you the only one? Or
we all picked Kojima.
Okay,
pick Kojima. Although Tommy just said, I'm hoping we get Ultimate X Match at Slammiversary. That would be cool.
There you go.
Now, something to note on the Slammiversary promo. I know it's similar to the one that they showed. I want to say it was a Rebellion. Everyone had just gotten released. They're showing all these people. They still had Joe in the promo, but as we know now after NXT, that's not going to happen. But they did flash 2 eyes real quick. If you miss it, 2 side-by-side eyes of the Iconics flashed up there. But they also flashed up the New Japan Pro Wrestling logo. Real subtle. So who knows what they're going to be doing here? How much the
and that rumor about WWE talking with New Japan, that seemed to have died and lost steam real quickly. Like I know we talked last week about Tony Khan. We talked about it, right? Tony Khan came out and cut that little promo against him or whatever.
Right.
And that little thing seemed to have died real quickly. And even then, the talk was, they would come into NXT, not, main card WWE is what. It's kind of a little bit of what I was hearing. But I think it's, I know Vince has the ability to throw a decent amount of money, but I'm hoping Tony Khan and keeping it with that has just as much to kind of keep the deal the way it is, because it's obviously. I think most people agree it's better suited for them to be with AEW and Impact than WWE, because you can't trust WWE booking for anything, especially if you're going to bring in outside people.
Definitely. They're always going to try and put their guys over, and won't be much of a share. They're too. They want too much control over what they have, So.
Yeah.
Other highlights: Morrissey beats Swan, as we all predicted. Tommy wanted to talk a lot about the Kojima match. I have a feeling he's going to be doing his own video on his own YouTube channel to discuss that as well.
Yeah, I just saw
Now,
his comment.
Omega and Moose, Moose looked great.
Yeah,
Did a great job. Obviously, the match turned when the Young Bucks got involved, but that's always been kind of the thing with Moose. We never really known if he can go in such a long match by himself, and he did really well. So I was very impressed. Do you think he at some point wins the Impact title within the next year?
yeah, definitely. I mean, assuming the situation is that he stays Impact and that's what his contract is. Um, yeah, I mean, I definitely see him. I don't know why you wouldn't at this point. I mean, he's clearly said he's basically become one of your biggest stars. Um, and I know Impact likes to kind of put their titles on some of those guys that have, been there a while and putting in. But I mean, he has been there a while, and I don't see any reason at this point why you would not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I again, like you said, we were all kind of shocked that it wasn't something that happened at the show, thinking that maybe they would have been someone else to cause Omega also to kind of lose it, and then go off and Omega do that storyline, and then let Moose kind of take over as champ for Impact and go from there. So
Right.
but yeah, no, I definitely I think it would be an error to not have him winning it sometime within the next year, if not the next month or two.
He definitely deserves it. He's put in a lot of hard work. It's come a
Yeah.
long way. Tommy says Omega and Moose was really great. I hope he does win it this year. I hope him and Sammy have a long feud over it. So it sounds like Tommy seems to think that Sammy is going to be winning the title off of Omega. Or I wonder what they're going to do. If someone else gets inserted into the match too, that kind of thing.
Because I guess as much as we like them working together, AEW may want to protect Kenny until he gets that Hangman match that everyone's been talking, assuming is a long booking. So
Right.
there may be ways to take it off him. I wouldn't be surprised either if he gets into another multi-man match like he does in AEW, and Moose pins someone else, or anything kind of along those lines. So Kenny loses the belt but didn't actually get pinned for it. It's obviously it's fun for us to see these Impact and AEW interactions and the kind of sharing, but both promotions have to be considerate of their talent, and and Omega's obviously being positioned as the top A. I mean, he's a champ right now, obviously, and he's holding multiple belts across multiple promotions. So you don't want to take that pinfall too lightly, even if it's for just one of the individual titles. But I feel like one of them is going to be coming soon. So
Definitely.
we'll see.
Tommy, it's interesting that Moose and Swan have both lost to Omega now. Very, very interesting. Go to sleep, please. I'm busy. Okay, you need to. He also said yes, he's picking Sam and Slamversary. So, all right, on to our pick results. Oh, I realized I forgot to put the Against All Odds graphic up here, so let me do that. Hey, we were talking about Against All Odds this whole time. I just didn't have the graphic up there. Sorry about that. As far as our pick results, we all had pretty much the same. The only match we differed on ended up being a no contest, so it kind of got thrown out. So we all went 4-2. Myself, Mike, and Tom.
So we were all kind of right, but in a more accurate way, we were all wrong.
Yeah, twice anyway. We were so. All right, that gets into our WrestleCast ratings, 0 to 5. And Tommy, if you're seeing this, go ahead, let us know your thoughts on Against All Odds, and type in your WrestleCast ratings so we can factor that in. 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, and 0 being December to Dismember. Mike, are you comfortable rating this show, having only seen the main event, or do you want to just kind of pass right now? So,
I mean, I don't know where you're going with this. I think I'd give a solid 4.25. There was nothing, even from reading it and kind of looking through some of the clips and stuff that I did see. Like we always say, like they're always really solid. They're always giving their all. I don't think there was anything that really kind of got you super excited or put it over the top. Other than that main event was a really solid match. I mean, so a solid score. I mean, nothing too high, but not low by any means.
yeah. Tommy, I give it a 4.25, a solid show. Like everyone said, it
Yeah.
was just a Slamversary lead up, but it wasn't really a bad show. So he agrees with you on that. I'm kind of okay. I mean, it was an okay show. It wasn't anything spectacular. The X Division thing was just it was kind of weird. I always think it's weird when one of those like no DQ style one fall to finish matches ends up somehow in a no contest. See Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
crashing a Hell in a Cell kind of thing. Um, Tommy, I see it as everyone putting on their best. Also, Deanna and Rosemary. Yeah, that was really good too. As well, it's interesting to see who they're going to bring in to challenge Deanna coming into Slammiversary. So, but for me, I'm giving it a 4. Nothing too crazy. It did the job. It didn't really, nothing that fully stood out, I guess, on it. So, but this did, like we've said, this was really just them getting to Slammiversary. Obviously, whatever they're planning is gonna take place at Slammiversary, and it's gonna be crazy. I mean, they're putting a lot of hype, and like everything is about rules are gonna change again, or something is the promo that they're going with.
Yeah.
So, so for Against All Odds, that brings our overall rating to a 4.17. Not too
Pretty
bad.
solid.
Yeah, pretty solid. So, all right. So, with that, what's next on the card? Obviously, Slammiversary is July 17th. We know that July 14th is pretty much the end of the no-compete clause for every wrestler from WWE that was released on April 15th. This is the first pay-per-view from a non-WWE company where we can see a lot of those talents making appearances. Obviously, Samoa Joe is not one of them. He just appeared at TakeOver. They brought him back as an NXT enforcer. Basically, we'll talk about that after we talk about In Your House. So that's what's on the card next for Impact. This is probably their second biggest show of the year after Bound for Glory. They make a big deal about the Slammiversary as well. So we'll see what they plan, what they got going on.
And
What's up?
I was going to say, do you think so? If you remember last year, the Good Brothers showed up the night before, made a little announcement, basically at midnight when they were eligible at the end of the 90-day no compete, and kind of basically said we're going to be there. I don't remember if it was the next day or in a couple of days. Do you see anybody doing something similar, or do you see them more as? I feel like it's more impactful, no pun intended, to just show up at the event or kind of be brought out that night as opposed to announcing it. Unless, you think that can get you a few extra buys, because I'm sure at the time the Good Brothers may have helped a little bit. People who was like, oh, I got to watch that.
Well, let's see. The 17th is is that a Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember.
That's a good question. I think it's a
Excuse me.
Saturday.
Ooh. I believe that's a Saturday.
I'm not the only one yawning in the room.
Yeah, I know. She needs to get to bed because she knows she's tired. Yes, you are.
But Daddy,
What?
I can't even fall.
You can fall asleep. Just try, okay? I'm on a show right now, sweetie. All right.
I keep trying
Okay.
and I
Good
can't.
night.
But I can't
Okay,
fall
sweetie, I can't right now.
asleep.
Live show, guys. Yeah. 17th is a Saturday. So
Okay.
the 14th is a Wednesday. I think there's a very good chance whoever's going to be making an appearance at Slammiversary, they'll announce that person on the 15th of July, which is their Thursday show right before. So it
There
is
you go.
very likely everyone should be tuning in to Impact. If you don't watch Impact much, whether you're watching on Access TV or Twitch, tune in on July 15th. That's the first day after the no compete ends.
I know this is not a question, but let's say the no compete ends on the 14th.
Right.
Can they film something like on the 12th that doesn't get shown?
I think
Until the
technically they
15th?
can, yeah.
As long as it's not like on TV until the day outside of the compete?
Exactly. As
It's
long
an interesting
as
technicality, yeah.
yeah, I mean they film their stuff weeks in advance usually,
Sometimes it seems like, yeah.
because the whole Eric Young thing when he got hurt at another event, and they already had the TV stuff filmed out, and then they had to kind of
Right.
change that last minute. So it's
Burns is in
possible.
the chat.
Huh? Oh, is he
Sorry.
there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you think it might? I'm sorry. You think it might be possible they show up a little
I think it's very possible. Whoever,
early, but
at least one person, and if it is in fact the Iconics, if they finally decide to tell Fire and Flavor you're defending your titles on at Slammiversary against them, they'll reveal it that Thursday. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the broadcast date, yeah, when they film is questionable, but they're technically not competing until they show up on TV.
yeah.
So,
Tommy, while you're in the chat, write out all the names you think the Iconics could use.
I'm curious to see what he says here. Well, while he's doing that, let's shift over to NXT TakeOver in your house. I'm really starting to enjoy this pay-per-view every year. This one I don't think was as good as last year, but the nostalgia is great.
Yeah.
There was so much to this. Even the whole NXT for 10 years, the highest thing in sports entertainment, was such a throwback to that old little World Wrestling Federation thing that they
Yeah.
used to do before, you know. And that started to take me back. And then, of course, Todd comes back.
Todd Pettengill right
Yeah.
off the bat, yeah.
What was your favorite of the Todd Pettengill promos?
It had to be the Karate Fighters with Dexter Loomis. Because, like, I mean, I know they come back to that joke ever so often, but it was that one SummerSlam where they were sponsored by Karate Fighters, and they even had promos like on the Saturday shows or little vignettes where wrestlers would fight each other with the little toys. They had like a whole little tournament with the
That's
Karate
right.
Fighters, and so to me that was hilarious. And then like neither of them was really knocking out the other, so Dexter just stops and like takes Todd's fighter off. He's like, you win. So, but I mean, they were all pretty good throughout the night too. But I always think that one's funny, the Karate Fighters.
I actually really enjoyed the what was it, the VHS thing where he was trying to show the footage and the VHS. We just got this queued up. They can just
Yeah.
play it. It's all digital now. I thought
Then he was like, "What? Oh, I have to take this to the truck. I have to take it."
Yeah.
She's like, "No." Yeah, no, that was good stuff.
All right. I'll let you know. There's
Oh.
something with my my Facebook comment. They're not coming in live, so I'm gonna try to load it. But I'm sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Tommy did say, "I hate you, Mike," but fine.
Yeah.
So we may be getting a list. Someone's setting up shop back there, buddy.
I know she is. Unfortunately, she's not listening. We're talking about you. All right. NXT TakeOver in your house got started with the well, there was a dark match that didn't get shown, but they went right in it with the 6-man tag match, winner take all. Bronson Reed and MSK against Legado del Fantasma,
Right.
which my wife has told me means the Fantastic League or Fantastic Club, basically, is what it is. So, thank you, Tina, for
I
that.
thought Phantasma was more like Ghost or something.
I don't know. This is what she told me. I mean, she speaks better Spanish than I do.
I agree. That's why I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So, but Mike, you call Bronson NXT Jeff Cobb. What are you seeing more and more from him, and what do you think of him opening the show here? So,
Yeah, I mean, he's really improved since some of the earlier times I had seen him in NXT, and I think he was definitely worth putting the belt on. And it's a good mix of him with MSK because they're so quick and very kind of modern tag team in that way. And then he moves well enough for a big guy. I love the spot they've done twice now where he splashes Gargano into the not really the guardrail, but the protection on the side, the plexiglass, and all that. And yeah, like I mean, he's just really improved. I think hopefully he has a decent run with the North American title, and it's. I mean, I know I joke about him being NXT Jeff Cobb, but I really shouldn't even say that anymore because he's really coming to his own as a wrestler. So.
yeah, I'm kind of glad him and MSK went over. It was a great match to start the show. A lot of action, a lot of fun spots in there, and it was high flying. And the team that I think we all expected to win, I think we all picked them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone except for Tommy, because when they announced this match, he had already submitted his pick, so he didn't get to pick this one. But I'm pretty sure he would have gone that same way.
Right. I'm going to call a quick timeout before we go to the next match.
What's that?
To intermittently come back to Tommy's list. The Iconics could also be known as the Idols, the Idolics, the Paragons, the Exemplars, the Models, the Epitomes, and the Archetypes. And there are many words there that are the same ones I saw.
Exemplars and archetypes are the ones Tommy really hopes that they use.
Yes, the Paradigms.
That's hilarious.
Or maybe they'll just be called Offer Chop and just keep it on brand. Who knows?
That might be cool. Or at least that'd be the name of their new finisher or something like that too.
Yeah, I think he did pick MSK and Bronson, right?
Well,
or did he pick...
he would have, but they added that match after he'd already sent in his picks because they added that night.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because he was out at graduation. So.
Gotcha. That's right.
Now, it's funny. My daughter's getting set up, and it's appropriate that I'm wearing Dad 316. So it's hilarious. The next match was interesting. Xia Li against Mercedes Martinez. And the way it ended, you would think Mercedes was the one that won the match.
Right. That's what, like... Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I mean, Xia Li looked really impressive, but then after a while, Mercedes was really dominating the match.
Right.
And then she hits that kind of, I think of it as like a Trouble in Paradise type kick. Like the Kofi Kingston kick, and then that's it. But yeah, like I agree. And then the stuff happens afterwards, and I don't even remember what they call the ring lady. Tian
May, hang on.
Isn't it like Tian Li or something? Or?
Well, Tian Chi or whatever. I think that was like the full name of their whole group. But I think Mei Ying was the name of the woman that was like, the ring. I call her the girl from the ring because that's what she looked like to me, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But is it supposed to be someone we know? Because who was on commentary that was like, take off the mask, show us who you are?
Phoenix, Wade Barrett. I forget who the third one is, but yeah.
Maybe it was, I don't know, but yeah, that was interesting, and I get it. Like, it seemed from the beginning with their promos that, she was going to be some sort of mythical warrior. I mean, I don't want to say in the vein of like of the Fiend, but some sort of powered mystical being. So I get what the end, but again, I almost felt like it would have made more sense at that point to have Mercedes win, and then have that happen to her because Mei Wing, if that's her name, was upset about it. So I didn't watch NXT, so it'd be interesting to see if there was any continuation of that from what happened,
Tommy's saying Mei Ying is her name, and she's supposed to be portrayed by Karen Q. At least that's what I heard last. Okay. A lot of speculation. Of course, they could change their mind on who portrays the character up until the very last minute, so we'll see.
It's like, remember when Disruption had like 15 members?
Yes.
And then 5 and they all looked like they were 5'7".
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when they actually debut, it's those two big giants.
It was all the extras getting work then, so
yeah.
Now the ladder match was next, and this one was, I think, the show stealer. My gosh, it really was. This one stood out the most to me that night. LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, so hilarious too. Grimes, they just interact. They work so well. And for a while, Knight was just getting the crap beat out of him. And then I turned it around. But this one was very, very well done. As far as ladder matches go, it's one of the better ones I've seen in recent history.
Yeah.
Very smart psychology-wise. Everything just completely made sense. This... I'm not going to put a star rating on it, but this was kind of almost the perfect ladder match,
yeah, it was really good.
It was amazing, yeah. So, Tommy, Knight and Grimes are just loads of fun. I seriously love those guys.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I was really, really hoping Grimes was going to win just because I wanted to see how the hillbilly Bitcoin guy interacts with the $1 Million Man, going all Beverly Hillbillies with it too,
But I also don't think the story is done, obviously, and people. I saw a lot of people afterwards saying that, you know, the old saying is the money's in the chase.
Right.
So, you know, it'd be interesting to see Grimes now, because he was over too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was clearly the fan favorite. I mean, everyone loves him. I think he might, with this little gimmick added on of the Bitcoin stuff, or the cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
might be one of, you know, the most popular guy in NXT right now. I just feel like it's one of those things where, like, as much as you respect all the wrestling ability of the guys in NXT, and him too, but his character just adds something that you're not getting from some of the other people, right? And he just has so much fun with it. So I think you're going to see the you know, the chase, him trying to win the belt off of LA Knight.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
And as Tommy mentioned in the chat there, Ted DiBiase is pretty much a part of this. LA Knight took DiBiase down, and
Fun with it. So
yeah, so
I think you're going to see the.
sorry. So DiBiase is going to be part of this. She might even be in Grimes' corner as they try and get the $1 million belt back, because ultimately.
Wait, did I turn away too fast? Did LA Knight do something at the very end?
Apparently, LA Knight hit Ted DiBiase as the show went off the air,
Oh,
and kind of turned his
was
back
it
on.
as it went off the air, or they went to the back?
Let me see if I can find the clip on
Because
Twitter.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I thought the end of the show was after the title match, Regal walking out saying, you know, that he thinks that there was time for a change.
Let me. Well, that okay. I'm talking about what happened tonight on NXT. Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood you. Okay, got
So
you.
yeah, obviously Regal said that at the end of the show, but tonight on NXT, LA Knight ended up attacking Ted, took him out, taking the $1 million championship with him. So obviously, I think that sets up DiBiase in Grimes' corner. So somehow I got my wish. You know, it'd be interesting to see how much fun these matches are going to be for that championship, which looks pretty damn expensive, by the way. So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. But you mentioned the whole, you know, throughout the night, Regal just didn't have a hold on everything. Chaos was going on.
I gotta say they did a pretty good job of like you said, doing that. Like every time he turned around, there was two guys just trying to get into it in the back.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of see him getting exasperated over and over and over. So yeah.
And it wasn't just the main event, because even when Johnny Gargano was walking out for his main event match, he walks by, and there's Raquel and Ember fighting against each other along with
Shotzi and
Shotzi
and Ember,
Yeah,
Raquel and Dakota,
they're all
right.
just firing.
He just kind of like that was kind of funny.
You
right.
know, and Raquel and Ember, great to see two Texas products going at it for the women's title NXT. That was really good. I like that Shotzi's back. Obviously, they're going to keep going with that as well. But the main event, first of all, shout out Gargano on the Heartbreak Kid tribute. Yes. Right down to the knee pads, pretty much, you know. So that was really cool. Let's see, I'm missing a few comments. Let me catch up here. Okay, there it is. Tommy, by the way, I just checked. Shia Lee's group is called Tian Sha.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Night, yeah, that was tonight. It's legitimately astonishing, Tommy says, how much better NXT booking is than Raw. Agreed. It really is. And even this main event, this 5-way,
I can't fall asleep.
okay, we're back here. It's coming up now.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't fall
If you need to go real quick, I got this.
Just from black. Hang
I
on.
got the show. I'll talk about Cesaro and Bailey for 5 minutes. Well, you go take care of what you need to.
All right. Okay, I think we got it back here. All right, yeah, we're good to go now.
I can't fall asleep.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if there's like a little interconnection with my computer because I saw on my OBS that there was a little red dot, but it's back. It happens from time to time. I think it happened during my Samurai Showdown stream last night too to Twitch, so that's why there's two Twitch streams anyway.
Trolls, am I right?
Yeah. Oh, it's doing it again. Come on. Come on back. Come on now. Anyway. Okay.
Guess who's back?
I know she's
It's not us.
All right, we'll just power through this. Hopefully this works out. It might just be Streamlabs giving us crap here. So.
Okay. Birdsey says we're back.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't lose them again. All right. Well, the main event was great. I really thought this was where they took the title off Cross. Obviously, that didn't happen. He's still champion, which has me wondering if maybe they're going to save him for like a post SummerSlam thing. I would imagine there's going to be another takeover either right before SummerSlam, possibly that weekend. Who knows? They haven't announced it.
Right.
Yet,
It seems
so.
like I've heard that too. That there's a good chance there'll be one around that.
I can't fall
So-
asleep.
If you're going to stay in here, you need to be quiet. Okay?
Daddy, I can't fall asleep.
I understand. If you're going to stay in here, you need to be quiet. Okay? Because I'm doing a show.
Where am I gonna sleep then?
I don't know. I don't know. Just stay quiet, okay? Anyway, so we'll see. I don't know who's going to challenge him next. I forget.
Yeah.
Cross pretty much, So,
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, we can almost talk to the Hell in a Cell preview.
Go forward with this with him being the force like his first day on the job and he chokes out Adam Cole.
Yeah.
So we'll see what else they're going to do with this going forward here. So now on to our WrestleCast rating. Man, I'm hoping we're still going. Interlaced video. What's going on? That's weird. Okay. Well, we're still kind of going here. I don't know why I'm getting a whole lot of interference. It's just very weird. So, all right, we're good. Okay. On to our pick results for NXT TakeOver in your house. Tina went 0-1 because we said the one thing she was picking was Mercedes Martinez, and even though technically she didn't win the match, based on the ending, it felt like she did, right? So,
Yeah.
myself and Mike went 3-2, and then Tommy went 3-1. So we're going to get into our WrestleCast ratings for this event. Tommy, if you're there, go ahead and let us know your rating house so we can get that out of here as well. For me, this was kind of really on par with Against All Odds, so it was a 4 as well for me. It wasn't anything too spectacular about it. I love the nostalgia. Matches were done really well. The ladder match, though, was just amazing. Really, it was. That one really stood, I think the test time was really good. But I mean, it was a great show, great action.
Not going over the top to try and impress us. Like, they're always a solid show. Every match to me was good. And that ladder match, like you said, to me it really stole the show. Even a little bit more than the Omega Moose match. NXT that so I'm gonna go 4.5. I think it was a pretty good show.
Okay. Tommy said, I'll give this one a 4.25 as well. Just a solid show all the way around. The ladder match did steal the show. Yeah, definitely. Definitely steal the show. So that does bring our overall rating to a 4.25. Not too shabby. Good weekend of wrestling. So if you missed any of these shows, definitely go back and watch them. It's well worth a watch. These were a lot of fun. What's next for NXT? Like I said, there's probably going to be a takeover around SummerSlam, but they did announce the Great American Bash July 6th, which is Tuesday. Obviously, that'll be part of their weekly Tuesday show. I assume that's just going to be a 2-hour event unless they extend to 3 hours because they're kind of promoting this as a pay-per-view thing. So
It'd be interesting to see, like, because when was it where they did? Was it where they did like 2 weeks in a row, like AEW did too?
I want to say yes, but it was like it was 2 days in a row. It was like what
Oh yeah,
first day
that's
was
what it was. It wasn't
USA,
the.
and the next day was on Peacock or
There
something
you go.
like that.
That was
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
So
So yeah, I mean, I assume it's going to be a regular show, probably 2 hours. I mean, except for the fact that they were letting their main event go on almost like 30, 40 minutes. It seemed like they run those shows pretty quick. 5 matches in and out.
right.
They let their main events go a little bit long, but I think they can get a pretty solid 2 hours in. So it'd be interesting to see.
All right.
And the Great American Bash. I know it always feels like we're WWE bashing, but it really bothered me when they took. And then that's why I said, how do I get rid of all? And then that's why I said, how do I get rid of all these weapons and evidence? I mean, come on, man. But anyways, we're back. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, we should be back now. Okay.
No, you didn't hear anything, guys. You did not hear anything.
All right. Okay. Apologies to anybody that was watching on Facebook. This thing just did not want to cooperate. Streamlabs did anyway. We're back on YouTube right now. Hopefully this is working out better. So we can just get this going and finish the show here. Overall rating for NXT TakeOver in your house was 4.25. Not too shabby. Pretty good show. Pretty good weekend, as I said. So, and now with that, let's move into what's coming this weekend. Obviously, things got shuffled around. They want Money in the Bank with the live crowd. So this is going to be the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome.
Oh, wait. That's not
No.
the Heat Lamp this year.
In the Youngling Center, and that is WWE Hell in a Cell. Now, I'm wondering if this is just a one-year thing, because this is such an early-in-the-year show for this. They're moving things around, obviously, to get Money in the Bank to be where crowds return. But I'm wondering if this is just going to be a one-time thing where we get Hell in a Cell in June.
I wish it would be a no-time thing, and they just pull out Hell in the Cell when it, needs it for the feud. But I mean,
I feel like that's the debate that we have all the time with this. Why do we have a dedicated pay-per-view to this? Is it necessary?
And in fact, we'll talk in a minute about one of them feeling like it was just rushed, like thrown in there because they needed one, when there's clearly another feud that I'm assuming they're gonna make a match Friday that was far more set to be settled in the Hell in the Cell. But
Well, let's get that to it. I'm pretty much that's the second to last match we're going to talk about, so we'll definitely talk about this point. But the one we're starting in has just the weirdest booking to it. It just doesn't make complete sense to me. I'm trying to understand why they're doing this. Of course, I'm talking, about Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. Even with the ending of Alexa and Nia Jax from yesterday, where apparently all of a sudden Alexa can hypnotize people.
I mean, in all fairness, she's hypnotized you for about the last 4 years.
That's
at least,
true.
So.
That's true. But
And look, I'm going to throw it out there. Goth Alexa, I'm down with that. So not like the storyline, just literally Goth Alexa. So I mean,
yeah. So this one, I don't know. It's been a weird thing since they got this whole Alexa Baszler thing going. Obviously, I'm picking Alexa Bliss. Tommy, you're there. You're watching. Share your picks for these matches as we go along. I think you have the agenda in front of you, so you can follow along as well. I'm going with Alexa, obviously. Mike, who are you going with this one?
I don't know, because I don't think they want the result of a wrestling match. Like, there's going to be some weird. I guess I'll go Alexa too, because it seems like she's supposed to be the powerful one here, but I could totally see something happening and her losing and then snapping back into her I don't know, her fiend for, I don't know, like you said right at the beginning, I don't know what the point of this booking is. I don't know where they're going with this. Again, and as much as I give you crap about Alexa. I don't really hate her. I used to hate her booking at the beginning years ago when I felt like they were overbooking her, and I kind of feel like they're booking her, not overbooking her, but like I don't get where they're going with this. Like,
Right.
Whether it had to do with the Fiend, with Bray Wyatt needing to take time off or whatever it was, and feeling like they needed to keep this going. I just don't know. So I mean, I guess I'll go with Alexa Bliss, but I have no doubts that there's also probably going to be some screwy stuff going on. Reginald's going to get involved because you got to keep him in the women's division for some reason. So,
First of all, Brandon B Ninja, hey, good seeing you in the chat. Tommy says, I hate when they do that to Hell in a Cell. It's a match to end the long-standing feuds. Yes, of course. Goth Alexa is way hotter. He also says he's picking Alexa Bliss as well. So I got that written down. Yeah. I don't blame Mike for being confused. It's actually a hard call. Now, Brandon B Ninja says Angelica Pickles over Richie Garcia. Now, yeah, I will point this out. Richie did win the BOW title back. Well, I don't forget what title. He apparently his rematch clause was a 24/7 rule, so you can challenge whenever. But I let him know already. Why the blue F is Reginald? Yeah, exactly, Tommy. I let Richie know already that my 4-year-old son is ready to take that title. So I said, I'm glad you have the title because I want my son, 4-year-old son, to take it back from you. So,
it's all about the sneaky roll up.
Yeah, I'll teach Jay how to do that. Just walk him by one day at a hyper show.
He's probably big enough to hit a crucifix pin on him.
Probably.
Grab,
Probably. Jay's getting pretty tall. So. All right, let's see here. Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Charlotte Flair. Because Charlotte missed WrestleMania, she's got to be in the feud for every single title match that she can for every pay-per-view going forward. I guess that's her contractual obligation. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. So
okay, I want to say something real quick.
Go for it.
You remember back when Becky was starting her man run, and they thought that she was supposed to be the villain, and Charlotte was supposed to be the face, and then the crowd were like, "No, that's not what we want." And then I don't know if you remember, kind of in the build-up, they tried to turn Charlotte into like this crazy, like going crazy with kendo sticks and like, she's ultra violent, it's crazy, like almost like they were trying to put the Becky Lynch, the man energy onto Charlotte. It just never quite worked. And I feel like, again, when was it, like last Raw or the Raw before, they keep going back to this where, like, if she loses or doesn't win, she, like, freaks out. And then I think it was last Monday, she took out Nikki won by a count out. And then she freaks out and goes in and starts attacking her. And I feel like her character kind of shifts back and forth too much. And, like, they don't, for someone who's booked all the time at the top, it kind of goes back and forth, but, between, like, she's the queen and the best wrestler ever to I don't know, this kind of psycho who loses it. It's really strange.
Yeah, and then she got bloodied up a little bit in her confrontation with Reyes. So one thing I've enjoyed about these Thunderdome shows is that you can hear the interaction between the wrestlers a lot better. Yeah. And Rhea was just calling that out too. It's like, nice face you got there, or something like that. I'll bust you open again, something like that too. So Tommy says he's picking Rhea Ripley for the love of all things holy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the same way. I'm gonna have to go
same
Rhea,
for me. Same for me. Tommy, they make it hard for me to love Charlotte. Think about that. All right. Well, my daughter, I think, has finally gone to sleep, which is surprising because I thought if she was still here, she'd want to make a pick herself on this next match, which is Bianca Belair against Bayley. This one is interesting, and I'll have to say the build up to this one, of the 5 matches that are on the card, so far has been the best one.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to how great these two are. And how well these two are going to work together in the ring, I think. It's going to be really, really good. I'm actually looking forward to this one. Now, Mike, it's been no secret. Cesaro and Bayley have been your 2 favorites over the pandemic time and everything like that. Oh, Brandon says it's like Jen Aniston versus Pink. It's funny. Rain for him. Yeah. All right. So, Mike, where are you going with this one, Bianca or Bailey? Because I know this one's tough.
All right. JC, pick head or heart. What am I picking with?
It's Hell in a Cell, so none of those really matter. Because you don't
By
know.
the way,
Yeah.
Another feud that would have been perfect for a Hell in a Cell match.
I was expecting it to
You
be
know what I
Hell in
mean?
a Cell.
I was
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And, they've had the women's ones in the past. We'll get to that in a little bit, I guess, in the next few minutes. I'm going to have to go Bianca.
Okay.
I hate going against Bailey, but it just seems like Bailey's doing such a great job of, trying to bring a new edge to Bianca's character. Really got in her head 2 weeks ago with when the Thunderdome just turned into her laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we were still doing this on Skype, because 100% that would have been my background of just the Thunderdome of Bailey laughing faces. That would have been like Nirvana for me.
If I ever teach you how to do a green screen, you can help you set that up as well.
There you go.
Yeah. Tommy, this is tough, but I got to go with Bianca. I really do, and this did have the best build. Brandon
Thank you, Tommy.
Yes, Brandon says Susie over Angelica.
I like Brandon's all his picks going as the cartoon, the old cartoon versions of all these women's wrestlers.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, this one's going either way. I'm gonna go with Bianca right now on this one, but if this was in a cell, I probably would have gone with Bailey. Now, we might as well just get into the discussion now, because the next match we'll talk about in a second. But for a feud, this pay-per-view, like, people that going into the cell is supposed to be people that have had some feuds running for a while. Cesaro and Rollins should be in a cell. As of right now, they're not even booked on this show.
I assume, like I said, that's coming Friday.
But how messed up would it be if they make that and they're the pre-show? I mean,
well,
wouldn't surprise me the way WWE does this shit.
I don't know. I mean, I could see them doing it to Cesaro, but would they do that to what is he, the king of drip, or not Johnny Drip? That's a different drip.
Yeah.
This is the master of suits. And
I know Father's Day is this Sunday as well, so I almost feel like Seth, ever since Becky had the baby, he's been losing his mind, because he's probably been losing sleep, and I can relate.
We shared that video.
You shared that TikTok, and I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's losing his mind. He's got to get some rest.
It almost looks like, I know they were doing like cameos for a bunch of the WWE guys right before this, or the coming week, where it was like a limited number, and they're all like $200-300.
Yeah,
but that's what that video.
Cesaro's $350.
Yeah. Well worth it, but but that seemed like exactly where that video came from. He was, I'm the King Slayer. He just looked all out of it.
Oh Lord!
But if y'all find it, guys, look it up. It's pretty fun.
Tommy, if this was in a cell, I would have picked Bailey too. This is why I hate this as a pay-per-view concept. WWE stole this idea from Lockdown, but a cage match in Hell in a Cell is not the same thing. Look, there's a big difference. If they had flat out said every match on this pay-per-view is going to be in the cell, that could have been fun. Lockdown is fun. Everyone thought, okay, that's dumb. Every match is in a steel cage. It's actually enjoyable, because there's a lot of feuds that end in Lockdown, some that even get started, especially when they do the Lethal Lockdown thing. This one, it's like they just need an idea for pay-per-view, and it's almost like them making a pay-per-view around Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. It's when they went away from just like, the No Way Out, the No Mercy, the names that were like that, to, like you said, Hell in the Cell, Elimination Chamber, Money the Bank got its own pay-per-view. They started feeling like a majority of these pay-per-views needed a gimmick within itself, and it's just a little unfortunate because it dilutes, and you either have to really plan ahead and book. And I mean, a lot of times when Hell in the Cell was at the end of the year, there would usually be a feud that you could at least justify putting in the cell. But when you think back to the origins, of Shawn Taker after all their stuff, and Taker and Lesnar having to go Hell in the Cell, and all those different ones where they were feuding for a bit, and and it was kind of worth it. It just oh well, what's the big feud at this moment? That happens to be the month of a Hell in a Cell, so.
Which is why I think this pay-per-view, if you're going to do it as a pay-per-view, is best suited for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because you want to close out some storylines, and then you get into WrestleMania season. You get into the Rumble. What's the fallout of Survivor Series? We go to Hell. We go to Hell in a Cell right before Christmas, right? So.
Yeah. Okay, so I just saw Tommy in the chat.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Becky bought that cameo of Seth.
Yes. Brandon also said Aunt Pam in a cell would have won. Yeah, definitely as well. They botched this bad because that match is not in a cell, but somehow this one is. Mysterio challenging Roman Reigns. First of all, I don't understand why this match is happening in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that Roman wasn't gonna have a match at this pay-per-view because of all the stuff that was going on with the Usos.
Exactly.
And it would have been okay. Look, Roman is doing great work, and he's obviously his character is the peak right now, probably the best thing on main roster WWE overall. But I also think with the way the storyline was going, he was so involved with Jimmy coming back, and Jimmy not bowing to him, and Jay kind of I can't think of the character, but basically in that like their battle for the soul. Where does he go with his brother? Does he go with Roman? And it's been a pretty great storyline for it. Mm-hmm. But then it was like, oh, he's Roman. He's our big draw. We got to put him in a cell. And so he beats up Dominic so Ray can come out and be like, I want you Hell in the Cell. Like, yeah, it just, again, it was like, it seems like short-sighted, quick last-minute booking. And not that it won't be bad, but he was already no-selling Mysterio offense last Friday.
Okay, Brandon, poor Dominic getting yeeted was the best. Okay. Yeah. I don't like this for another reason. Dominic and Ray just won the tag titles. Mm. They should be going into some sort of feud where people are gunning them down because they want to, or chasing them down because they want to take those titles from them.
Well, WWE also famous for not caring about their tag team champs or tag team in general.
This is your feel-good story. How are father and son on Father's Day not defending their tag team titles?
Oh.
How are you not following through with that? This is a missed opportunity. It's a great storyline. You could have the Usos teaming to try and win the titles from them. And Dominic wants to keep the titles for his dad. Ray wants to do something great on Father's Day. That's your missed opportunity. I know it's easy because it's Father's Day, but it makes the most sense. Ray challenging Roman at a Hell in a Cell when they have barely spoken to each other over the last year makes absolutely no sense.
And you just said that, and I would have even been cool, even though it would have been with little booking, Usos versus Ray and Dominic in Hell in a Cell. If you remember some of the match that the Usos put on with New Day in the Cell, and Ray can, and I'm not trying to do this to crap on Ray. It's Ray. He can go still. He's going to put on a great match. I assume Dominic's going to get involved. And then you said it was on Father's Day. I didn't even put that together. So, one of two things are going to happen. Rey Mysterio's going to get destroyed to get Roman nuclear heat for beating up a dad, probably in front of his son on Father's Day. Or he'll have some sort of feel-good moment where he doesn't exactly win, but, him and Dominic kind of... So it's one or the other, and I kind of lean toward him getting destroyed on Father's Day, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any way they can save this. I assume... I know Tommy, I think he already said he's picking Reigns. I'm picking Reigns.
Me too.
We're all going to pick Reigns here. He's not going to lose it to a guy he just now facing off with, with no build-up. Now, if he wins and then the Usos try and beat up on Ray and Dominic makes the save for his dad on Father's Day and actually takes the Usos out himself, that's maybe the only feel-good moment you get out of this. It just,
Maybe what was the daughter's name? Maybe she comes back with. Oh no, he got
released. Yeah,
I don't know.
she's gonna join him whenever his no compete clause is over. Who knows, right? So,
Which is the Uso that's not dating or not married to Naomi?
Jay Uso.
So then
He
so
is
then his
married,
daughter.
but he's not named married to Naomi. I know that much. So, yeah, I don't know this.
Okay.
It's a big missed opportunity, and that's what I'm most disappointed out this. That was really the only thing I thought of when they won the titles. Like, hey, cool, you can do something on Father's Day at Hell in a Cell. That could be fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, final match on the card as of right now, anyway, is Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. This one makes sense to be a Hell in a Cell, and it is. However, it is also the last chance for Drew McIntyre. If he does not win the title at Hell in a Cell, he cannot challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship as long as Lashley holds the title. Unless, of course, he probably wins Money in the Bank or the Rumble, something like that. There's always that little loophole, Yeah, so let me click back over so I can see what Tommy, he'll be typing in his pick right now for this one. I'm going to go with Lashley here to retain. I don't know. Obviously, we've heard the rumors. They're at some point setting up Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. Lesnar's profile has apparently appeared in the active section of the WWE roster, which, by the way, apparently Velveteen Dream's profile doesn't even show up on the website at all. Not even the alumni section.
Interesting.
Yeah. So take that what you will. But Tommy there, I'm picking Lashley. I just have this weird feeling. Yeah, I think what's pretty much going to happen, and this is just kind of my thoughts on it, is that Lashley's going to win here. I don't know who's going to win Money in the Bank, who they book. Could potentially be McIntyre. Lashley and Lesnar, we've all been hoping for it. We're probably going to see that SummerSlam. And then whatever happens after that match, we could potentially see a cash-in as early as SummerSlam that night in Vegas. Saturday night in Vegas.
So,
yeah.
I agree with you as far as I think I'm gonna pick Lashley.
Okay.
But you remember, for the longest time, since the no fans WrestleMania the year before, they felt so bad for Drew because they wanted him to have his big moment in front of the fans. They're clearly trying to make him the top babyface. But again, we come to Hell in a Cell. It's his last chance, and there's no fans. I feel like if he doesn't win, which I don't think he will, then you either move him to SmackDown or you find some other big feud to send him down. Mm-hmm. Because if you want his big moment, obviously that the next time it happens couldn't be till Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. And I would honestly kind of hate to see him win Money in the Bank because I just feel like that's something that could go to. I mean, they don't always use it like that anymore, but I feel like there's some places you can go with that for guys who haven't quite been in the title scene. Those kind of guys that Cesaro, but I know that won't happen. So I don't know. I feel like he's not going to win, and then I feel you need to send him either over to SmackDown or kind of find something to occupy him for a while before we come back to the fans and kind of see where things are at. So,
okay. It'll be interesting to see where they run with this, where they pick up from here. This, of course, is, like I said, the last pay-per-view with no fans getting into Money in the Bank. So that is our preview of Hell in a Cell. We'll see what happens next. And I'm going to say this, I don't have a lot of expectations for this show. Hell in a Cell's kind of jaded me over the years, but I'll be happy. Not the last night in the Thunderdome, but it is...
I mean, you get to see Alexa, so she's there.
Yeah.
Bailey's on the show, even though she'll probably lose. I'm pretty sure Cesaro's going to be on the show. And actually, okay, so again, I know it's not official, but I feel like they're going to have that it's going to be their third match. And if Cesaro doesn't win and finish this feud, where do you go with that? Because I feel like this feud got extended after WrestleMania, a lot longer than it needed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Seth interfered in the match with Cesaro versus Reigns, or not interfered, but beat him up afterwards. You know, they kept us going. He injured him, and then Cesaro showed back up last Friday on Ding Dong Hello, which again, one of the greatest SmackDown moments in recent memory, with my two favorites on the same show. And it was kind of funny because as he was beating Seth up, Bayley was kind of like, "Get out of there!" And then she was like, "What?" They weren't completely like at odds with each other. She's like, "Why do you got to do that to my set?" And Cesaro was just like, but yeah, like I hope that's a feud that ends with Cesaro winning and they're done with it, because it seems more extended than it intended to be. But again, I also never trust WWE booking Cesaro, even though he got his little push in a title match, and I would not be surprised if they forget about him after that either and don't keep him up there. So we'll see what happens.
Who knows? Maybe they plan a big end to this feud at SummerSlam. We'll see if they do some gimmick match.
That'd be even more matches, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tommy, Money in the Bank used to be a lot more fun. I hope they don't blow it this year. Well, you better not. It's the first pay for the live fans. They better step it up, right? He doesn't have a lot of expectations either. Ever since that MFN heat lamp incident and that damn no contest, I just don't care anymore. Yeah.
You know what, though? Also, back to Tommy talking about Money in the Bank. I know we're getting out of the COVID era, but there was something fun about, even as stupid as we thought it was going to be, there was something a little bit fun about battling through the building.
Climbing the corporate ladder. Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you don't make it Money in the Bank, if you did like every now and then or once a year something along the lines where you film something with, a bunch of people fighting through, it might actually be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, like when I first heard that concept, I was like, this sounds horrible. But they made it fun enough. They threw in enough little gags here and there and stuff. Again, I think Money in the Bank by itself in front of a live crowd is much better in the concept of an actual match. But, I think there's little things they've learned through the pandemic that, well, I don't give WWE enough credit to not mess them up, though. But it could be fun, if done the right way.
Yeah, Tommy, the corporate Money in the Bank, that was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
All right, on to a bit of wrestling news here. Just the biggest announcement of the day is that Renee Paquette, a.k.a. Renee Young, and husband John Moxley have welcomed a new baby girl into the world. So congrats to Moxley and Renee, both first-time parents right before Father's Day. Congratulations. Very excited for that. We'll see. I think from a wrestling
Baby should have had that.
Huh? Baby
should have had that another week. Would have had Mox wrapped around her finger. Be born on Mother's Day. That's what my little sister. On Father's Day. That's what my little sister did.
Be interested to see if this impacts Mox's wrestling schedule at all. Obviously, trying to take some time back and forth. But I think AEW's schedule is pretty slow enough right now. He's got a little bit of leeway. He'll be all right. So.
I mean, I assume he'll just be like, Kingston, hold this for a minute. Go in and do some plunder, and then he'll come out and grab the kid and be like, all right, Kingston, your turn. He keep him, keep him on the side where they're tagging.
Yeah. Tommy, I say their daughter is going to beat up every kid in the playground, then interview the parents. It's very possible. Can beat people up and interview them at the same time. So
that is the best of those two pairs.
Yep. So congrats to them. Enjoy the ride. It is a wild ride, let me tell you. You just saw earlier, and she finally crashed out, I think. So sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen, but just enjoy it. It is a blast most of the time. Unless you're stuck at home with them during old school year, that can get crazy. So, all right. With that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, is there something you want to talk about this week?
Actually, I don't think there is this week. Kind of mentioned Cesaro and Bayley several times throughout the show.
Yeah.
And especially the last couple of days, I didn't catch as much wrestling stuff out after NXT In Your House and like I said, I didn't even get to watch all of it against all odds. So I think I'll pass for this week.
Okay. I'm. This one, I guess, kind of follows up what I was talking about last week. If you recall, last week I talked about how where's the other all women's pay-per-views, right? We had Evolution, but apparently Triple H said in an interview, if you haven't heard this yet, that when they asked him about the NWA all women's pay-per-view coming up in the end of August, he said it's great, but the best women's wrestling is here in WWE. If you want to wrestle the best, come do it here. And I'm just going to say it again. If that's true, then why the hell aren't you doing an all-women's pay-per-view? Don't give me this crap about Vince doesn't want to do it. You could technically do it in NXT and bring some of that talent back. But shout out to Thunder Rosa, who called him out and said, no, it's not true. The best women wrestlers, you have some in AEW, you have some in Impact, some in WWE, you have some in so many different parts of the world. There are so many women wrestlers out there that aren't on WWE television. If Tommy were here, he'd tell you a lot of them are probably in Stardom. So there's talent everywhere. So again, while NWA is doing something incredible, and I wonder if they're going to extend that all-women's pay-per-view to be not just NWA, but AEW, Impact. Impact years ago did a one-night-only pay-per-view. Time to do another one. AEW, you already have the connections with so many different promotions around the world. Why don't you put together an all-women's pay-per-view and invite the top stars from around the world to come and showcase what they can do. And let's see if if WWE really does have the best women wrestlers in the world. I'm not saying there's not bad ones there. There are some great ones. But they also booked Eva Marie. I'm sorry. You don't have the best women wrestlers in the world. They're all over the world. And AEW, if you got this forbidden door open, put together an all-women's pay-per-view, bring everybody in, and let's get this done. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah.
Now that you've said that, I do want to add a couple things in there.
Sure, go ahead.
So first of all, with the Eva Marie thing you just mentioned, apparently nobody in WWE watches NXT UK.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because, I don't know if you saw it or heard about it, but the gimmick is now that she comes out with Piper Nevins. Mm-hmm. Piper Nevins wrestles the match. The ring announcer announces Eva Marie as the winner. But literally everyone's like, who's this with Eva Marie? And I'm like, it's part of your company, man.
Your logo's on their promotion, exactly. So
like this is the same thing you want to do to Japan, and create an NXT Japan, but you're not going to know who wrestles there. Second thing, and I don't want to sound too controversial or political, or whatever, but in that Triple H interview, he also said one of the reasons, when the excuses he was making for not having an all women's pay-per-view, saying that's not equality. If I tried to have an all-men's pay-per-view with no women on it, we would get ripped up for that. That has the same energy to me. And I know it's not at the same level of importance necessarily of saying, why Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. That is just the same energy of like a really bad excuse and just you don't get it. Like,
yeah.
That's, if we... And in fact, I'm pretty sure some of your pay-per-views throughout the years have been all men with, or if you count a 2-minute Divas match as your women representation, you have the network on Peacock. You can do this show at any time that you want, and especially now that you're going back on tour. You could have done it any time in the Thunderdome because everyone was there.
Exactly.
Like no one's. I mean, yeah. Are there some fans that aren't going to want to watch it who think? Of course, there's always people like that and all of that. But you don't think people would have watched? Like we wouldn't have wanted to watch an all-female pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And like you said, JC, if you're going to say that all the best women wrestle here, then why would you not put them on display all the time? Why is Reginald still the biggest part of your women's tag team title things? Where have Natty and
Tamina
gone?
Yeah.
You clearly never cared about the belts the way you use them, threw them on people, and then whatever. So I mean, I know it's all corporate speak, and he's Triple H, and he's the second or third in command or whatever, and he has to speak that language. But I mean, it just comes across very shallow. And
you said it. How many all men's pay-per-views have they had? We all remember that when the Divas matches were the bathroom breaks, and it was only 5 minutes or whatever. If you're saying you truly have equality on the pay-per-views you do now, then you should have the same number of women's matches as you do men's matches. But you don't even have that. Look at the pay-per-view we're talking about right now. Granted, you have 3 women's matches right now, but you're going to even it out, we assume. But
actually, this is the first time in a while. They usually have their 2 women's matches.
Yeah.
They don't always have their tag team title matches. A lot of times that either gets, like for WrestleMania, it got thrown. No, that was a 2-up, but it usually gets thrown to the SmackDown before, or the Raw before, depending on when they're defending, or the Raw after, I guess you would say.
Yeah, what's the first match that gets moved to either the pre-show or to another? It's always the women,
Yeah.
The very beginning of the Total Divas series, they were all supposed to have this big match at WrestleMania, and then their match got skipped and pushed away to Monday because they ran over on time. It's just that if you want to have equality, fine, show me what your version of equality is, but you better be doing that consistently, because WrestleMania wasn't an even number of matches, and you need to do an all-women's show, because so many times the men might overshadow what the women are doing, Even the fact that you have, like you said, Reginald involved with the women's tag team title hunt makes no sense at all. So, all right. Let's see. Oh, Tommy, they had all men's pay-per-views. They just didn't call them that. That's true. The Saudi Arabia shows, right? And they should just make random women's matches in the main event more often. I agree with that. There's a lot more women's matches deserve to be at the main event. Very easily.
And before I forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Tommy said Stardom.
Stardom, yes.
Just want to throw that in there real quick.
And very easily, if you had put Bianca and Bayley in Hell in a Cell, that could have been the main event of this show.
Yeah.
Easily. So.
Although, just to throw a little thing in there, I don't know if you've heard this. Mm-hmm. I don't know how true this rumor is, but apparently Roman, in protecting his character, has kind of gone Brock Lesnar and said that he should either be the main event or the first match, and doesn't think that the Roman Reigns match should be anywhere in between. Which I kind of get to a certain extent, but
I'm sorry, but your match against Rey Mysterio should not be the main event of
I think
this
it's going to be first.
It'd probably be first if that's the
Although,
logic.
like you said, Rey Mysterio Father's Day, it might be last. I don't know.
If it's the last, he better be winning the title. That's just the honest truth. Because if you're giving Drew McIntyre's last chance and that's not the last match of the night, you better be doing something big. So.
Yeah.
All right, WWE Hell in a Cell this Sunday, June 20th, Father's Day, from the Youngling Center at Tampa, Florida, the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome for now. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock TV in the U.S., WWE Network everywhere else. Kickoff show, most likely it's going to be starting an hour before that at 6 o'clock Central Time. So check your local listings here. Obviously, this is back to the 7 p.m. starts for us. Peacock, I guess, likes that start time for their events, so that's just where they're going with it here. As for us, Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast. Let us know your thoughts on Hell in a Cell this coming weekend.
And the return of Joe.
Return of Joe to NXT. We'll see what happens also with AEW and Impact this Wednesday and Thursday with Slammiversary around the corner. They got a lot building up. And it's actually interesting to see that you got to watch these two shows back to back as well. So, next week we will recap Hell in a Cell. So be sure to comment and let us know your thoughts on all this. And this for all the dads out there, have a great Father's Day. If Rey Mysterio is the main event, damn it, he better be winning the title because it makes no sense if he's not. So,
or Dominic gets involved and does it for his poppy, Eddie Guerrero.
That's right. It's biological poppy. Mike, thanks for joining us. Tommy, we'll try and get these technical issues worked out. It's a pain in the butt, but we'll see if we can get it. Tommy's Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, I think this is just the internet trying to prevent you from unleashing all your hot takes and what you really want to say because they know it's just gonna overload everything and might melt the internet. So they just got to keep you under wraps for a bit.
Yeah, that's possible. So it might just be Lance Archer too, trying to make sure you don't talk. That's Lance Archer for you. So. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tommy, thank you for joining us in the chat. Appreciate all your picks coming in. Over here, we got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are
fake.
Fake. Oh, yeah.
We'll see you next week.
See you guys.